All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Next, reports of city boards, commissions, and outside agencies. They're listed. The Cemetery Board, next meeting, August 24th at 4. Historic Landmarks Commission, August 13th at 4:30. The Planning Commission, August 26th at 4 p.m. Parks and Rec, no date scheduled. EDA, August 26th at 5 p.m. Arts Council, Tuesday, August the 11th at 6 p.m. Weston Land Reuse Agency, August 17th at 5 p.m. Neighborhood Watch, Wednesday, September 2nd at 6 p.m. And the Solid Waste Authority, October 21st at 6:30. And there are still a lot of vacancies to be filled on the Historic Landmarks Commission, the Planning Commission, Parks and Rec, Board of Zoning Appeals, Municipal Appeals, Code of Appeals, and Tree Commission. I noticed that there was an application in the back part of the packet. Do we need to consider?
You'll have the opportunity to consider that under new business item C.
Okay. Next sanitary board report.
Good evening. The project went to IJDC this past week for review of the underrun requests that we had, since it did come in somewhat under budget, and all those requests were approved. So everything on our list for that has been approved at this time. There'll be a special session of City Council on August the 17th to get the funding finalized. Shortly after that, we can do our pre-construction meeting and get that project underway finally. It seems like it's been forever, but we'll get that underway soon after that. Down at the plant, we've had more than 30 consecutive readings for fecals that are below the limits, and that's something I don't know that I've seen in my 32 years here. I don't know that I have.
Even after flooding?
Yes, we continue to receive those, and we really didn't take much of a hit at all with the flooding, other than the fact that we were pushing a lot of water through there, a lot of sewer through there, and stormwater, but we really didn't have any significant damage, and everything was pretty much business as usual down there. We did agree that during this flooding time and time that people are cleaning up their homes and businesses, that we would give adjustments to those accounts for sewer bills that were a little higher, since they're based on water usage. And we'll basically do a 6-month average of what their bill normally was and average that and give that relief to them, because I'm sure a lot of them are going to have rather large bills in September. So we agreed to do that as well. I also had gotten pretty aggressive with phone calls and letters and notices that sent out for shutoffs for this month, but due to the flooding and not really knowing who's in their home and who's not, we're going to hold off on those shutoffs until August.
Okay.
If you have any questions, I'll be glad to answer them. Otherwise, we meet again on Monday at 4:30 at the City Hall.
Questions for Dee?
I really didn't mention the finances, and I should have. Our collections this past month was $201,253.12, and we have payouts for all the different fundings that we need to do. As far as fire fees, we collected $23,759.89. Your 2% tax of $1,713.33, and stormwater fees $2,982.34. And then we went ahead and wrote checks for the other funds, the pump replacement, the R&R, and the SB 234 as well. Sorry about that.
Thank you. Thank you. All right. Thank you. Finance Manager.
Hello. I would like to ask for consideration of transfer from the general fund to the vacant structure fund in the amount of $900.
I'll move to transfer $900 from the general fund to the vacant building fund.
It's been moved in second. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Also, consideration of approval for the expense check detail report. If you have any questions.
I'll make a motion to approve the expense check detail report.
I'll second it.
It's been moved in second to approve the expense check detail report. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
And that's all I had.
Thank you.
Public Works Department.
Public Works reports in your packet. It's very short. If I was probably to sit there and tell you what all we've done, it would probably be as thick as your packet is right there. Been very busy. First week of the flood was. It was really tough. I'm gonna be honest with you with the guys. This is something that we've never. I don't think we've ever had to do. Even with Billy at the 16, 17 years he's been there, so. It was all new for all of us, and sorry about the vacation that I scheduled, but I appreciate Joe very much for letting me go ahead and go with that. Ron Tenney, I don't know if y'all know him, he's right here on the front row. He filled in for me and done a great job. The guys worked very, very well with him. And I think he worked very well with the National Guards and also with Joe. I think I'm very, very pleased with it. And I think we're gonna hang on to him for another week or so, just till we can get some of the cleaning up done that we have and the day-to-day things, because it is a lot out there to do. That's why the report's so short, because I just got back last night, yesterday evening, and I'm still with some of my mess, just like some of you all people are. Have your messes too. Anyway, you got any questions? Happy to answer them. We'll try to, put it that way.
Thank you very much for coming to help us, Ron.
Yeah,
Thank you. Thank you.
And I hope you enjoyed vacation, Mike.
I very, very stressful.
I'm sure.
First 3 days, I still talk shit.
Okay, next, Police Department.
The only thing I have to add is the city manager already informed you, we more than likely have lost a crew.
Could have been worse.
That's right. Any questions for Chief Posey?
We appreciate you. Thank you.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, thank you.
Here, that's it. Thank
All
you.
right, Fire Department, we have a report in the packet. Jimmy sent us a letter.
Just to hit some of the high points of the fire department packet.
Yep.
During the flood, we did 146 calls to service. 86 of them being water rescues. We still got guys and gals going out and helping check oxygen supply for people that can't get out of the house. And going out to help deliver supplies and everything like that still. Our station's kind of a mess, flooding, and it'll be just a little bit before we get 100% of them running like normal day-to-day operations, but everything's going smooth as it can.
Well, all of you did an amazing job.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Everyone at the city did an amazing job in
Yes.
responding. Building code zoning.
The reports in there, we've just been jumping around, David and I've just been jumping around filling gaps wherever we can, assisting any of the citizens that we possibly can with things, doing structural analysis for FEMA and that kind of stuff.
And you submitted a grant.
Yeah, we forget,
Yeah, thank you.
can't forget it, I haven't heard anything back yet. And there's still nothing from the DEP on more demolition grants, it was still waiting, but I'm sure this will probably push things back a little bit.
Right.
Thank you, Marty. City Attorney, Community Development.
Our working packet is shorter than it's usual, I've been very busy last, weeks. Main focus has really been making sure that, the downtown folks that can't make it out to the main distribution center have access to some of these essential, items and needs. We've worked really well with the, Disaster Aid USA to secure and keep the wash dryer units and water street and shower units, which are getting utilized. Now that we've got some more signage, anticipating seeing more usage of those. But yeah, it's just been really busy, just trying to organize and trying to make sure that we've got the right organizations and church groups and nonprofits. Like everyone has just been amazing. It's been, everyone just stepped up to the plate, and when I would approach someone or an organization about what is immediate needs the community is looking at, or even into the future, people have been willing to step up and really help volunteer and support as much as they can.
The updates on social media that you have provided daily, several times a day, as things change and as services have been increased, you were very quick to respond with that and get the word out to folks, and I appreciate that. We have had a wonderful media presence
Yes,
in letting people know what services are available. Yes.
yes, we've gained over 1,000 followers, in the last 2 weeks. That's how many people are, and I'm trying to keep up and engage, and as I see things, try to pass it on. But also, there was no central location where we could, find all of the information, where all the different surveys were. So that was really instrumental in making sure that we got our website up to date, with everything, and it's on the homepage, so that way folks without social media still were able to access all of this information.
Great idea. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you, Laura. City clerk.
The report's in your packets. And with all the, everything up to July 20th was wonderful. On the 22nd, there was a lady who got flooded out, and she was the first one to walk in the door to say, "Can I help you all with anything?" And that was our mayor. We thank you, and that meant so much. And then came Josh just a few minutes later. But it really turned everyone more into a family and working together and trying to take care of each other. But we still got a lot done. And to try to keep the funds rolling in, we had 539 new business people paying. We had 974 municipal people still paying this month, and B&O's over. And so we have just been really cranking it out. But July is the busiest month, both months. And we worked together, and everybody did well.
Awesome.
It is.
Questions for Kathy? Thank you.
You were also instrumental in getting mercy shows here. Thank you. In your spare time.
All that spare time she has.
12,000 meals sent out.
That was a huge help.
Yeah,
It's amazing.
The town was.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people sitting in their cars with out Second Street, Broad Street to help people.
Well, also, it was helpful what Laura was doing and what you were doing, because a lot of people lost their cars
Right.
in this flood. So they needed those essential services downtown. Thank you.
City manager report.
I'll try to keep it short, but I do have a few things that I want to say. So one, the council should be aware of the property that we sustained damage to. We believe that we've had a total loss of 1 cruiser. There were 3 of the old DOH buildings on Depot Street that were heavily impacted by flooding. Although it's not our property, it belongs to the volunteer fire department. The fire department sustained probably $250,000 worth of damage. Willow Park,
basically a total loss there. There may have been impact to the retaining wall behind the cultural center, I'm not certain. And then also just lots of damage to infrastructure. I'm sure you've seen Village Creek was the worst. And then, there's also impact to, probably past Willow Street, probably the next worst is probably Cottage, but then there's impact to streets everywhere. We've got exploded drains everywhere. So there's lots of impact. Insurance is reviewing that stuff now to see what may be covered and what may not be covered. Just to give you a quick heads up on FEMA stuff. FEMA comes down in two buckets, so the public assistance and individual assistance. Public assistance is for municipalities towards bed of the FPPs, and then individual assistance is for individual persons. On the public assistance side, there will only be coverage for repairs to essential infrastructure. So it's most likely that things like Willow Park are going to fall probably just our insurance and won't see coverage at all. The things that FEMA may cover, if we get a fuller declaration, I'll come back to that. The things that FEMA may cover, it will still probably cover, depending on the particular need, somewhere in the 70 to 80% range, with the 20 to 30% cost share. What has usually happened in the state of West Virginia is the municipality then petitions the governor to cover the cost share out of his governor's contingent fund, which is better known as the rainy day fund. So the federal government will come in at 70 to 80% for essential infrastructure, and then the state's rainy day fund usually covers the remainder. Earlier today, President Trump announced that there was a committing of $4.5 million. What the state OEM currently understands is that that is intended to be a ballpark figure of what the government currently thinks will be brought down in the first wave of individual assistance. So in the past, the way disaster declarations and FEMA have worked is usually you don't even request FEMA help until about 3 months after the disaster. Because by then you have all the data and all the numbers, so you can make one comprehensive request to FEMA. What the state has been trying to do in this case is it's going to make lots of little asks as data becomes available to it. I guess both the governor and the president are on the same page about that. So part of what we saw today was probably what will become the first wave of FEMA funding being allocated. It doesn't appear that there was public assistance money included in that number, but that was individual assistance money. But we're anticipating that there will be public assistance money in a future allocation. I want to take a minute to just really thank everyone in the ecosystem in the city of Weston, especially the fire department. I can't say enough for the way you guys showed up. The fact that we have no fatalities in Lewis County. Yeah, I mean that's enough to bring me to you. So to know that the city's investments that it's made in the fire department over the last couple of years paid off in lives saved this past month. And then the fire department hasn't stopped since then. It's not business as usual. They're back to make sure everybody's got oxygen, taking care of people in remote areas, helping us clean the streets, everything possibly that you're still working on. The public works department, that first week, tons of overtime that they didn't ask for, tons of overtime that they may have not even wanted, tons of overtime they may have said, please don't make me do this. I need to go clean out my own basement, but they still stepped up in the city and really cleaned through. The admin staff, I think has shown up since Wednesday after the flood. I think for the first 2 days after the flood, the only two things open in Lewis County were the 911 center and the city of Weston. So there were a lot of communications that people were receiving that they were only receiving from the city because every other government office was closed. Every other trusted news source was closed. Really grateful for the way they stepped up. And same with the police department. Just the amount of stepping up everyone has done since this started. I'm very appreciative for her, particularly she's put in a lot of hours making sure that all all the dots got connected, especially for folks who are stranded inside city limits. Something council needs to know is as I'm talking to mayors and city managers who have been through something like this before, they basically told me, this is your full-time job now for 6 months, is dealing with this FEMA disaster. And it won't be completed for 18 months, but it will be 6 months before you even feel like you have breathing room to get other things done. Something else I want to point out is just the way that different agencies all came together to help Weston and Lewis County. Obviously, the National Guard and the DOH have stepped up in a really big way. But also we've had a lot of neighboring communities that have reached out to the city, particularly other municipalities. I think I've heard from just about every mayor and city manager in North Central West Virginia at this point, asking how can we help. We've had a couple of those leaders out to Weston and they're figuring out how they can support Weston. Last week, the city of Parksburg sent down a jet truck to help us when we were moving that. So there's just been a ton of support there. Other than that, I'll let you know that the last number that I knew was that 7,000 tons of flood debris had so far been removed across Lewis County. And that number, I think, is Saturday night's number, so it's increased since then.
Yeah.
And it's probably going to continue to increase for a while. I'm particularly appreciative of the county and the 911 side this past weekend. They shifted resources around and made sure that the city got hit really hard with debris removal, which is very important for public health reasons. So I'm really appreciative. I think Friday night there was a big shift in resources going into Saturday that I think maybe we could get those fuss over the weekend. Other than that, I want to let you know that I was scheduled to go to the West Virginia Municipal League Conference this week. I'm hoping, it's still my intention to go. This is probably the most valuable conference that we have all year round. And this year, because of what's going on, I've spoken with the municipal league probably 4 times in the past 2 weeks. Because my first question was, who in West Virginia is the expert at guiding the municipality for disaster? And God bless them, they had an answer right off the top of their head. They said, you need to talk to Ann Cavalier in Smithers, West Virginia. And she's been a great resource to me since then. But they're hoping to put together a league of cities that have been through disasters. And municipal leaders that have been through that, so that those folks can have support team on each other. So I'm hoping to be able to be there this week. That would be, I think, mostly Wednesday through Friday. So if I can make it out, I can. Yeah. Other than that, most everything else has either been in an email update to you. I think I've sent you about 15 of those, or it's something I'm going to share with you in the executive session. Does anyone have any particular questions?
No.
Oh, one other thing. I did include, because I said I would include this. I just stuck it at the end of your package just tonight.
Thank you.
This is what the new progress report is going to look like for the goals that we set. I will let you know that there wasn't a ton of progress. There was a little bit. I mean, we had 2 good weeks, but 2 weeks doesn't make much. So that's all I have.
Hearing no questions, I'll entertain a motion to approve all departmental reports.
I should approve all departmental reports.
And I'll second it.
It's been moved in second. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Moving on to old business, consideration of first reading of ordinance 2026-08 establishing regulations to chronic nuisance properties. What?
I told you to spend some time this past.
I'll make a motion to table ordinance 2026-08, establishing regulations to the chronic nuisance property.
I'll second.
Okay, it's been moved and second to table. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Next, consideration of CVB grant application of $1,500.
That was originally before the flood that was submitted to add another cryptid downtown. at this time. I just don't think that it's the right time to be adding. I think our efforts could be better spent on other projects within the city and helping residents maintain some sort of quality of life again. So I would like to table that until next year cryptid time. Yes, I would like to table it indefinitely.
Second,
I'll second.
it's been moved in second. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Next, consideration of waiving various fees related to flood relief.
I sent y'all an email about this. I think I'm ready to ask you to make a motion, and then I'm also gonna let you know probably what we're planning to do administratively. I think the motion I'm gonna ask you to make is, to waive the fees of building permits related to flood relief from reconstruction. And I think that's the only motion I'm gonna ask you to make, and then also I wanna let you know that administratively, if there is no, objection to this, we're probably going to pause adding new structures to the vacant structures list. So those structures that were previously on the vacant structures list will remain on the list and will continue on the timelines they were on. But I think for at least 3 months, we'll pause on adding new structures. And then also, I think we're going to pause on condemnations of properties, for 3 months. But one of the reasons that I asked you to not put that in the form of a motion, but to leave it to administrative discretion, is because there may be a case where condemning property actually goes somewhere in case of insurance or there's some other thing that they need. So I don't necessarily want to have a motion on file telling us not to condemn properties, but know that it's the administration's. Unless it is found particularly helpful to a president over the next several months. But unless you have anything else, the motion that I would like you to consider is motion to waive fees related to building permits for the collective.
I'll make a motion to waive fees pertaining to building permits that is affected by the flood relief.
Okay, is there a second?
I'll second.
It's been moved in second. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Next, consideration of transferring property at 248 John Street, 118 West Fifth Street, and 248 Brown Avenue from the city of Weston to the Weston Land Reuse Agency.
Talked a little bit about this previously with the land use agency. These are properties that they're looking for and are ready to receive and ready to get posted.
I'll move to approve those properties to be transferred to the land reuse agency.
I'll second it.
It's been moved in second. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Next, consideration of adding Ryan Harvey to the Historic Landmarks Committee and Code Appeals Board.
Mr. Harvey joined us this evening.
Thank you.
The resident, the business owner here, the owner. And he's been getting more involved with the city and the contract. Sometimes he's our friend and sometimes he takes us to task, but those are the relationships that we like the best. So he filled out a form with an interest in several committees. I think there's some other committees, and this may be 53 in your packet. The vacancies that we have right now that we're ready to receive him on are the HLC and the Board of Code Appeals. So we're recommending that he be placed on one of those boards.
Well, thanks for your interest. It's nice to see younger people interested in different
It is.
organizations, especially with the city. So I'll make a motion to approve Ryan Harvey to the Historical Landmark Committee and Code Appeals Board.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second to add Ryan Harvey to the HLC and Code Appeals Board. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. congratulations.
Congratulations.
Thank you again.
Get to work.
And now we are at reports of city council, and I'll just begin by reiterating what a fantastic crew that we had. Everyone responded in a short period of time to the disaster that we incurred, and wow, I couldn't be prouder to work with all of you. So thank you. Ward 1.
Yes, thank you. I echo those sentiments of everything. Everyone worked as a team and I appreciate it. Of course, we've seen what the fire department, police department has done. All employees, Laura's been working tirelessly, as has everyone else in the office, out of the office, boots on the ground. You couldn't ask for more responsive staff. And I thank you for that. I also would like to send a special thank you to A&S Recovery, who helped us in a real bind. We were in a bind with the weather forecast, and they answered the call and came out and helped us with the tree removal from the West Fork River, which was blocking 85 to 90% of the river. It was a very scary situation, and they were very professional in removing that, and we appreciate their help. Thank you.
I really don't know what else to say other, we can say thank you to all of you guys. That doesn't even touch what you guys have
Right.
done.
Mhm.
I mean, Joe, you're phenomenal with everything. And
Great.
Laura, our Katie Couric of Weston.
Yes.
I mean, you've kept everyone, abreast of everything that was going on. The ladies in the office, when I walked in, you guys were taking calls and handling everything as professionally as you can. It was nice. As soon as I walked in there, you guys were. D with doing the averages with the sanitary bills. I mean, that's wonderful. Whatever we can do.
Thank you.
I mean, everyone's just been phenomenal. I think it was great because it was a major disaster, but everyone came together, and I thought everyone did a great job. And even with the city coming together, with the nation divided, we see, how people are at each other. But as I was out there, praying with people and getting prayed for and doing whatever we can do, I didn't hear that anything. I'm a Democrat, I'm a Republican, I'm this, I'm that. I didn't hear anything. We were one team fighting for one thing. This person, I had their house destroyed, but she was at her neighbor's helping to get theirs cleaned up. There were no racism whatsoever. There were no negativity, even though it was such a nasty time in Weston. But the city completely came together and became one. And that was nice to see too. And it was just sad that it was a disaster that did that, but it was nice to see.
Thank you. Ward 4.
Yeah, first of all, I'd like to thank everybody, in the city that, had to deal with the flooding, all the residents, with their help throughout the city, the resident volunteers, volunteers from out of town, just the way the residents of Weston stepped up to help each other and treat each other so well, as Josh has just said. I have to thank all of our city employees, everybody in the police department, fire department, public works, Marty up there at code enforcement. So I do appreciate, all the time and effort that you guys have put in. I know that there's been a lot asked of you, and just appreciate your cooperation and your hard work, as we went through this difficult time. I really can't stress just how proud I am of everybody in the city there for coming together and helping one another. I was taking a walk through my ward the other evening, stopped to talk to a resident, and she had been speaking with the National Guard, and the Guard members relayed to her that everywhere that they've been to help with flood cleanup, to help with cleanup, they told her that the people of Weston have been the nicest people that they have encountered. So, that made me really proud just to be a part of this community. So I just want to say thank you to everybody that have come together in this time, and just, express just my gratitude and my pride in the city of Weston.
Thank you, Adam.
Thank you too, Mr. Jenny. I appreciate it.
Is there a
you.
need to consider executive session to discuss legal? We do?
Yes.
Okay.
I'll move to go into executive session.
Oh,
Second.
A motion and a second to enter executive session to discuss legal matters. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.